What's up, everybody? A Sparrowwood again here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Elite Dangerous. When we left off in the last episode, we managed to do another fairly successful mission run. Our overall reputation with the Federation has not gone up too much, but we are going up on our actual rank, so that's good. Let's see. We have another planetary scan one for that. That's boom data. All these are new things, so that's cool. That actually comes with the material. So I definitely think we're gonna do all of these because, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of rep stuff. Although that might have just filled up my hull. I'm not sure. Can I still? Oh, there we go. And I did read something in that little glance there as I was going through that there may actually be some hostile ships sent after us, which would be kind of interesting. Do these? I didn't actually look at these though. They all go to Gorbatko, I'm assuming, because usually the boom data ones go there. The planetary scan ones typically go delivered to Lebdev. Oh wait, I think it's going to end up being Gorbatko. Because typically when we scan them, I don't know why that is, but the mission info isn't always accurate. Like, it says deliver it back to Lebdev, but I rarely have to. So, yeah. And what is this mission critical? Message that's no way, shape, or form critical. They've chosen to ignore our request, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now this one, since it said they've chosen to ignore our request and stuff, may, in fact, possibly, they may actually be another one of those where it has the red perimeter and we might have an enemy, or not necessarily an enemy, but like a territory thing or trespassing thing going on. Because I think that's what happened before.
Clear of port confines. Safe travels, Commander.
Alright. So, yeah. I did kind of want to do bounty hunting today. We may end up doing that, I'm not sure. I err on the side of probably not. Only because, like I mentioned last time, it has to do with kind of timing and stuff like that, and I don't really... I mean, I have more than I did, so I'll probably do some more cuts than I usually have been doing lately. But it may still be kind of a talky mission running episode type of thing, because the biggest thing is I've found, and a couple of people pointed this out to me last time, or the time before, I can't remember. I think it was the episode before this. No, episode before the last one, so 2 episodes ago. That what can kind of happen is the bounties don't end up adding up as much into the reputation as they did when you start, because the bounties don't actually change, but the overall total you need to rank up does, you know. And so with that in mind, I kind of almost at this point have to do some kind of missions in order to get any kind of significant rep boost. The unfortunate part to that is that it's not really all that interesting to watch, in my opinion. I was actually really grateful. There was a couple of people a couple episodes ago that pointed out, you know, that, like, I actually watch it for you, I don't really care what you're doing, and I really appreciated that. That was cool. Because more often than not, until you actually get people that really do like you for you, most of the time they're there for what you're doing, you know. Like, even when I started watching Etho and all of those guys... Oh, actually, we should be close to the nav beacon right now. Or do they already know? Let's check the message. They might already know where I'm going. Using 3B. Of course. Okay. So I don't have to go to the nav beacon. Cool. Using 3B. We're gonna do that one first, and then we'll go turn in to the Gorbatko, because I have a feeling I'm going to have to go back there anyway after I'm done with this. I don't know, maybe I do have to go back to LebDev, but I don't think so. But yeah, like, even when I started watching Etho and stuff for Minecraft videos, I started watching him Morley? I'm not sure what... more for... Let's go with that. More for, his crazy contraptions and stuff he would do with redstone, because I didn't know how to do redstone stuff. Still don't to anywhere close that caliber, but I can make passable contraptions, but so yeah, it was one of those, like, I watched his stuff because of what he was doing, and over time of watching it, then I just kind of got to where I liked his videos and didn't mind him doing other stuff, and especially like Generic B and Corellis and all them. I enjoy their commentating styles. They're fun to watch. So when it gets to that point, that's cool, but for the most part, I always assume people are kind of watching it for the content itself. So I try and stay conscious of that, like, you know, missions tend to be boring, and I end up talking a lot, and if that's not interesting to you, then it's like the overall video isn't really all that entertaining. So I want to do more bounty hunting, but it is starting to get harder and harder to do it, because it requires me to essentially do a run like this, where you're doing missions and stuff, before you ever start really recording and doing anything, so that you keep getting the rep boost, but then the video itself is more action focused, and that's kind of the hit or miss, I guess, in what I've been struggling with Elite lately, is having the time to do both. It's like sitting down and recording wasn't really that big a deal, but sitting down to do grind work and then recording while you have other recordings to do in the same day and stuff, that's where it starts getting a little challenging with your time management and stuff, and part of it is my own fault. I will own that, because some of it is not necessarily poor planning, but poor sticking to the plan. For example, saying, okay, I want to get up at 9, and, you know, I'll go do the grind work and be recording by, you know, like 11 or something, but then you get up at like 11. You know, it's like, well, that's that's kind of on you, but it is what it is. You know, you can't unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I can't rewind the clock. So once I sleep in, it's gone. But yeah, I need to actually... I'm not picking up the scan thing yet. Usually... There it is. Of course it's on the other side. Meh. Alright, fine. But yeah, so kind of just trying to be upfront and open with you guys as far as the behind the scenes aspect of what's been kind of hindering. Well, I shouldn't really say it's been hindering progress at all, because we are actually really leveling up our rank a lot. So I guess it's not really that we're not making progress in our goal, it's that it hasn't really been all that action entertaining of videos lately. But ooh, coming in too steep. Dang, damn it. Alright. Trying to figure out if I want to try and jump back up to the orbital cruise level. Let's see if we can, because that's... Woo! I don't know what maneuver I just pulled, but I really don't think it was a good idea. Yeah, I wouldn't do that again. Do I have to... I might have to frame shift out of here, right? To get back to orbital cruise, I think? Once it cools down? Yeah, so apparently that's what happened to me last episode. I didn't think about it, but I guess what happened before was, it wasn't my speed, it was my angle. I guess that the angle of orbital cruise to go into a glide, you actually have to be at a certain angle, and I was not there. I really feel like they need to fix that. I think those messages are bugged. Like, they keep showing up all the time. Okay, hold on. Where did my target go? Okay, now we're dropping. Okay, that's better. I gotta make sure I don't black out, though. I feel like a helicopter that's circling... Or a shark, rather. Shark circling its prey. Ooh. Oh, I guess it tripped the scan. That's interesting. Stay awake, buddy. Stay awake, buddy. Once again, showing off an example of how not to properly land and fly and do this. Oh, and I still ended up 21. Dang nabbit. That's not too bad, I guess. For any of you that don't know, the reason I'm kind of annoyed by that is once you get into surface flight, you can only go the max of your ship speed. You're not actually doing the orbital cruise and light speed type stuff anymore. So like now you can see I'm only doing 400. I'm assuming that's meters per second. And so when you have like kilometers and stuff, it's like, it just kind of trickles rather than just like fly towards it and you can get it done real quick. So it's just a little bit slower. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just slows everything down. Okay, now I'm not seeing a building, so this probably isn't the last point. Where are you going? Whoa! Hey now, that's not cool. Don't do that to me. Ah, here's the building. Actually, I should have just sat down that way. Would have been easier. Because the, ooh, yep, there we go. That's a weird angle. That's probably why it's telling me it's unstable now. Right, let's see if we can get something a little better. There we go. Oh, come on. The landing on this does seem to be a little weird and temperamental. It's like... I mean, I'm looking at that radar. There's no mountains or hills or anything. It's like, just land. Okay. Now, let's get this show on the road. But yeah, I still haven't changed. I just remembered I still haven't changed the control key. Actually, you know what? Let me fiddle fart with that a minute and see if I can actually switch my controls up. I'll be right back. Okay, so I reset my controls for the SRV, and I do think I like them a lot better. One thing is, I do think contrary to... I could be wrong, though. Contrary to, the way I had it before, I don't think I like the drive assist on. I haven't quite decided about that yet. One thing being that when you use the default scheme, the left and right triggers on a controller are your accelerate and decelerate. But when you have the flight assist on, it's like a continuous... Like, once you set it, the speed is just the speed kind of thing. And it makes it a little bit harder to have a little bit more control over your driving. Like, you know, push the gas pedal down and then let off of it to kind of coast. You can't really do that as much. So I don't really like the assist on with the default control scheme. But having the controls on a pressure-sensitive analog stick for steering seems to give you a lot more control, and I don't seem to spin out quite as much, so I do like that. I'll probably tweak it a little bit eventually as the as some of the controls I feel are a little bit wasted. Okay, so there's this. This is my new setup, so that works. Okay, and then nope, wrong button. Okay, so then that's that. All right. So, yeah, I think I pulled it up online. I googled, like, the default scheme. Alright, so that should be everything we need. Scan now complete. The relevant data has been transferred to your ship. Cool. So, with that in mind... that got updated, and it says return to Lebdev, so maybe we do have to go back there. But all of these we need to go to Gorbatko for. So let's do that. But yeah, like that, even just that spin around like that, I normally would have spun out or something. So... What now? Yeah, Lebdev. Okay, fine. Fine. So I do think I like the control scheme by default for the driving mechanics a little bit better. I'm still getting used to which one was the vertical thrust. Okay, so that's that button, which now I'm too close, so it won't let me do it. What is that? Oh, that's the handbrake one, and then that's my headlights that I didn't even know were there. I didn't even know you could adjust that, by the way. So that's funny. Alright, so then we got that. And we'll do this, and we will board the ship. So, yeah, it's really weird that the default control scheme for the ship is so drastically uncomfortable to me, but yet I actually like the default one for the SRV better. It's weird, right? I think it's weird anyway. It may not be that weird, but I think it's weird. It's like one of them is like, oh, this is better than the one I came up with. That's cool. And then the other one's like, ew, no, ugh. Like, I really despise the default control scheme. It's ugh. Though, I've said this before, for any of you that aren't aware or didn't hear it before, the main reason for that is the default control scheme tries to incorporate kind of all of the functionality of the game's keyboard and mouse controls into a controller, and I feel like there's a lot of wasted controls for my playstyle. I don't think it's as useful to have, like, there's buttons mapped to the chat in each panel and each screen and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I don't need all of that, and it just gets in my way of what I can have. One example being the ability to switch between all of these panels. By default, like on keyboard and mouse, I think there's like comms I know is, or not comms, but messages is like 4, and you can do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you know, that kind of thing, I think by default on a keyboard. And it'll snap you to all of these. I find having a button to switch head look, to where now you can just look around, to be way more effective, because it only requires one control button, but you can still access all the panels. Now the caveat to that is actually interacting with the panels. For example, since we've got time here, I could look up here and see my messages, but I can't scroll over to the friends list, the messages, the history, the settings, all that. You have to actually hit the button, and now you can actually tab through all of these. So with that kind of a caveat in mind as being a limitation of my custom scheme I came up with, I like having everything kind of mapped to the head look button, rather than wasting a lot of combinations on the various different panels. The other thing is, like, the default has stuff for, I forget what it has everything for, but it's stuff for, like, your flight lights, like headlights, your there's a hyperdrive and a super cruise button, and so, like, I think I'm going off of estimate or remembering, but I could be wrong. But there's a lot of different things like that are very, to me, they're not useful at all because of how I play. Like, I typically play solo, so being able to access the chat panel and the friends list, I don't care. It doesn't do anything for me. I would rather be able to have more control over heat sinks and fire groups and stuff like that. So I really think that's probably why the SRV controls appeal to me, because it doesn't try and do all that. It does a little bit, and that's why I said there's some wasted buttons. Like, what was the one that I noticed when I was looking at the default scheme? It's something like having a cargo scoop button set up that's like a face button. And I'm like, you could do that with like a square and down combo or something like that. Like, you don't have to waste the actual face button for something you don't use as often, or I don't use as often. Or the headlight button being on like the right stick instead of the head look and stuff. I did change some of that type of stuff. And I'll probably change it a little bit more. But the driving mechanics, the actual driving mechanics, I think I liked a lot better. Flight, I did not. It was... like I've said before, I might be repeating myself at this stage, I don't know, but I've played enough flight games and enough regular games that don't even use flight, where camera and pitch and stuff is like almost always on the right stick. And some would say, well, slow it down. Some might say, well, you know, that's controlling the ship. You're not actually controlling the camera. But, while that's true, in terms of flying games, flight is usually roll and pitch is on the right stick, because typically with an actual joystick and flight seat, or like an actual plane, your right hand, unless, I don't know if they can do it with if you're left-handed or not. That's probably why on fighter jets it's like in the middle, like in between your legs and not like over on the right side. That's probably why they do that, now that I think about it. I hadn't really given it much thought, but yeah, if you're a lefty, that would be hard, but I'm right-handed, so for me, my joystick always went on the right side, and then the throttle control would go on the left. And so for me, the left analog stick is my throttle and my lateral thrusters, and the right is my joystick controls. And by default, on the default scheme for the main game, it's actually reversed. That actually, I'm not even sure if your throttle is on one of the sticks or not. I think it is. Yay! It did it! First try. Woohoo! I don't even remember if it is on throttle or if it's on like accelerate and decelerate is like a face button or a trigger or something. I don't know. But yeah, like when you do the PS4 controls when I just started and stuff, I know that like pitch and roll and stuff was like over on the left, and or it was weird. It was like pitch was on the left and yaw was on the left, but then like roll and lateral or something, it was weird, and I just couldn't get used to it, and I was like, this is just funky. And I really do think, like, I'm pretty good about jumping from controls. A lot of people I've talked to, I don't know if it's just because I've played games all my life, and I played a lot of different genres that have different controls, but there's a couple of people that I've talked to that, like, they get used to the same control scheme, like shooters. And if you change it on them for a different kind of game, like a sports game or racing or something, they get all confused, and it takes them like a day or two to get used to it. You know, you have to play it for a few hours. And I think the longest it's ever taken me to really adapt to even a new one, but mostly, like, it's been a while. Like, I've played RPGs and I haven't played shooters in a while or something like that. I mean, it takes me like 15, 20 minutes or something to get, like, actually comfortable with it again. So I'm usually pretty good about it, but Elite's, that's the exception for me, man. The default one is so difficult for me to get used to the point where I was like, uh-oh, our cargo hold is full. Just gonna no. I don't really care if we lose out on the materials anyway, so I'm just gonna keep delivering them. Okay, that's one I haven't accepted. And I can't do that. Available, White Rayo, I don't want to do those. Well, that's inefficient. Okay. How about you? Okay. Spam through all that. Oh, I had some for these guys? Really? That's interesting. I'm not donating to these because that's just Alliance, and I don't really care about their faction, to be honest. And here'd be an interesting question for all of you, like, actual Elite gurus out there. How are we doing? 62, not bad. Do they? Oh, they do have a commodities market. Sweet. Let's get rid of this stuff. For all the Elite experts out there that may or may not be watching, I guess may, because if you're not, then you're not going to see this. But did the Alliance have anything that they got going for them? I mean, with Federation and Empire both have ships that you need to be a certain rank for, which quite frankly is the only reason I'm doing all of these missions, is to get a gunship. I mean, I went up to Baron so I could get a Clipper. I'd like to get up to, oh gosh, what is it, Ensign, I think, to get to the gunship, which is, I admit, I'm not really playing this much. I've been playing it pretty much when I record, and that's about it. I haven't really even been doing off-camera grind work, either. So it makes sense that it's taking this long, I guess, but it feels like it's taking a long time to get where I want to go with the rank thing. Ooh! Why, hello! Deliver 3 units. This is a Neosing one. Now, if I remember correctly, I think somebody told me that I can do all of these at once because the Neosing one gets roped into the other ones or something like that. Maybe? I might not take it just to be safe, but we gotta go back to call anyway. Deliver... We gotta go back to LebDev anyway. So that's fine. This is another one. That's 150.
Incoming mission critical message.
Incoming mission critical message. You know what? Now that I think about it, I should have probably compared to make sure the one I took was actually more lucrative. It is actually not. Well, that's unfortunate. This would have been a better one to take. Though it is going somewhere other than LebDev, it looks like, so that may or may not be a useful one. So let's just grab this one. I'm tempted to grab this one for more rep, but I don't think I'm going to. And I wonder, how many times does this reset? Nope. Wrong button. I hate having to scroll all the way down for that. Neosing. Ooh, that's a good one. So I guess we could just keep repeating this process until we get missions we like? Is that a thing? I never really tried this before, to be honest. I just noticed that it reset, but... Oh, there's another one. Okay. Wow, how did I not know about this? Like, I knew that the missions reset, I didn't know that they reset just from exiting and re-entering that quickly. Another planetary... Okay. Wow. So given the fact that there's currently that, bug, I mean, very useful aspect of the mission system that, you can... you can basically turn in, or get them all at once with one planetary scan mission. Okay, it looks like it might be stalling at this point. Or not cycling through anyway. Yeah, okay, I think we're maxed out. So what did we actually end up with after doing all of these? Jeez. Gorbatko. That we need to actually go to LebDev, and then I need to turn into LebDev. So that's fine. Okay, and I have to make sure to do the one first. Oh, we only have... These other ones said days. This said hours, but it just at a glance I thought it meant minutes, and I was like, oh, we only have 20 minutes. That's not good. Okay. I might end up cutting this, because we're getting a little low on time. So I'll cut over to wherever we're supposed to go for some of these scan missions, I think, would be the best way to do it. Okay, so we are on the planet we need. Though, admittedly, not exactly sure where. Is it this way? Not exactly sure where I ended up landing. I feel like it was over this hill, maybe? Because I got where I'm supposed to go in terms of the planet. Oh, is there like contacts? Dang it, where did it go? It was here a minute ago. Let's brighten things up a bit, shall we? I don't know if that actually does anything or not. Oh, there it is. Ooh. Mad flying skills right there. Not really. Okay, so I landed that without falling over, flipping, or doing anything, only to smash my tire into a rock. Makes sense, right? We are in a low gravity area. Woo. Oh! That was a large rock. Okay. Now I need to be around over here to the beacon thingy. Nope, wrong button. Still getting used to changing up my controls a little bit. Okay. Scan you. And dangnabbit. That should... Oh gosh, 9+. Okay, yeah, I'm not even clearing all those. That should have updated all of our scan ones. This one needs to be turned in, this one needs to be delivered. So, at this point, we should be pretty good to go in terms of... yeah, in terms of, like, getting all of our missions finished and stuff, we should be pretty good. Woo! Okay. So, yeah, with that in mind, let me get to... Come on, go! Let me get to Lebedev, and we'll probably wrap this episode up here, or there if we can. If I have to turn on another one, I may do that off camera or something. I'm not sure yet. Alrighty, so we have safely touched down at Lebedev. So now it is time to refuel, repair, well, refuel I guess, and turn in these missions and see what we got. Alright, so first of all, let's deliver the 3 units, because that should clear up my cargo hold. Now, unfortunately, it does seem like I was incorrect in that the other ones do actually go back to Gorbatko by the looks of things. Darn. Okay, let's double check real quick and make sure we don't have any missions that can go back to Gorbatko. These require a lot. They don't have any missions. Okay. So, with that in mind, do they have a commodities? They do. I'm just going to go ahead and sell whatever it was that they just gave me. Telemetry suites. Done. Okay, so now that we've cleared up our cargo hold, check the missions one more time, we're good. So I guess the last thing is, one last step is to go to, is that 65, I think? Is to go back to, yeah, Gorbatko, and do that. So I'm going to do that, and like I said, I'm going to cut it out just for the interest of time and such. Wait a minute, what's this? Congratulations, in recognition for your trading ability, the Pilots Federation has elevated your rank to dealer. Oh! Well, that's cool. That was kind of the, like, rank up that I wasn't expecting, I guess. That's cool. Okay. So yeah, let me head back to Gorbatko, and then we'll wrap this up. Alrighty, so we have arrived back here at Gorbatko, where we are going to finish up this episode. Okay, so first we refuel, and then we turn in everything. I actually should have at least 3, I think, to turn in here. I'm kind of just skipping through, because it doesn't really tell you, like, what you're... It's like it's a little bar thing, but it doesn't really give you any good indication on, like, what's actually going on. That's all going to Ireo. And that's all the missions there was for that anyway. So that's cool. What did we end up on? 67%. Not too shabby. I think we started at 52 this episode, so it is kind of... it is kind of a slog, I'm not gonna lie. Or, is that the proper use? I think that's the proper use of that term. But yeah. So hopefully we'll get a little further along here in a little bit and be able, because I really just want to get the gunship, honestly. That's really the only reason I'm doing all these missions, is to get the rank for the gunship. But, you know, it's the way that it is. It's gotta be done if you want to do the ship. There is a beta going right now that I don't know if it does anything too crazy, like in terms of the gameplay mechanics or the ships, or adds new stuff to where we may want to switch over and do that for a little bit. Let me know what you guys think about that, because I haven't really read up on the beta all that much. All I know is it's supposed to bring the aliens into the game, kind of, or something like that, like they're off in deep space or something. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.